So this video was not one of the planned like 5 videos I was planning on doing today, right? But I just thought about it and I said, you know what? There's a good point in making this video. I don't try to do a lot of videos where I talk about personal things in my life, like personal shit that happened. There's not really many videos where I take a whole personal event that, you know, I went through or that affected me, that involves someone I know, like, and go through that whole shit as its own video. You see what I'm saying? I don't do that. This is a little bit different, because usually when I do shit like that, I bring that up in regular ass videos. So it's like y'all get that, you know, but I don't do whole videos focused on that. Y'all will get that in videos on like shit that I'm actually focusing on, because when there's shit I have to relate to it, I'll add that in for personal experience. But I don't do videos like this, so I'm just a little disclaimer, throw that in the middle, in the beginning. Also, I'm not going to be using this kid government name, because I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that's just, first off, I never knew this kid government name besides his first name. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't the closest with this kid, but we chilled a lot, because especially whenever there was a group of people chilling, because I always had a crib where like anyone could just come through and like be chilling at my pop's house. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people would always try to have him come through too. Or like sometimes it was just me and him chilling, but people thought it was funny because we kind of looked similar. And you're going to see what I mean by that in a second. Like, people used to be like, yo, these motherfuckers is twins. Because like, this kid, Butta, was younger than me. And I really looked at him like a younger brother. Like, despite that we weren't always hanging out, nothing like that, I looked at him like a younger brother because we looked similar, and he was going down the same path I already went down. So I was like, I remember the last conversation me and him ever had, the very last conversation me and this kid ever had face to face was, I told him, I said, bro, you keep running, because he had just somehow popped up with like 100 Xanax bars. And I'm like, bro, what'd you do to do that? And he basically is telling me he okey doked the people or something, like, I'll come back, and he's not gonna come back. I told him, I said, Butta, you know, I got a lot of respect for you. I got a lot of love for you. I look at you like a younger brother. It's not just because we look alike. I said, you keep playing these games, eventually you're gonna come into the wrong one, and there's not gonna be nobody there to help you. Because I said, when I was doing this shit, I had bigger things that knew what I was doing and told me to do that. So if anything came to me, there was going to be more than me that they was going to have to deal with. That's not the case for you. You're just going out to these other hoods where no one has authorized you at. No one's told you, hey, go do this. If it come back, we going to be like, no, we told them, you know what I'm saying, stand on that, you know, whatever. I said, it's going to wind up, I said, it might be the death of you. That was literally one of the last conversations, the last conversation face to face me and him ever had. And ironically, it was about the time I stopped being homeless. Like, actually, I think this was right before we got our apartment, right? This was right about the time right before we moved out of the Big Apple Motel in Waterbury. Where we had been staying for like a few months after our tent flooded, and somehow I found a way to get us some money to be able to do that. Long story short, yeah, basically right before we moved into this apartment, which is where this kid was known to be chilling at, keep in mind. Like, it's like we moving into this shit, and it's just like, bro, like, we going back to this place and he's not here now. You know what I'm saying? So, because the kid was from Stanford, but he used to chill out in the sticks a lot. And that's how people he was doing, because I can tell he's ripping people off in hoods, and then he's coming here and he's getting it off and he's taking all the bag. You know, he's taking not just the profit, but everything. They're not seeing that re-up. So, yeah, I'm gonna do a little voiceover and shit. I want to say R.I.P. Butta. You know, it's always affected me since he was gone. You know, it really hurt. You know, I went through a lot of death, too, at the same time when he died. Like, I had lost my little brother Lane literally on the Super Bowl the same year. as the first car fentanyl death in Connecticut. And I have a whole video I want to do on that, but I feel like I can only do it on Patreon because I don't think he overdosed. I think someone tried to kill him. I think it was in relation to a very well-known historic event that happened in Newtown. So that, if I ever start a Patreon, will be up there. But this video right here is talking about my little brother Butta. And you know, it's just sad, bro, because it's like yesterday, bro, I can remember him just chilling with me upstairs. Me and my parents, like, my room was like a reverse basement. Where it was like, I had a door that went to the outside that opened up to a slider. And, like, I could literally just have people in and out and they would never know that motherfucker came. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless I had, like, mad people there, which one I get, like, my pops yelling and be like, yo, what's going on? Like, why are there all these people here? Like, call me downstairs. Like, what's going on? Right? And I'll be like, man, people just, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, I had to put this video out because, well, as like a PSA to all the youngsters doing the same shit, that shit could really bite you in the ass. And, you know, just to explain like a little bit where I come from and shit I've been through. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, check this out, man. So I met Butta around 2013. He was in high school still. Ironically, right before he got killed, he had got settlement money for fucking on his teacher. Somehow that resulted in a lawsuit for him and his family being able to sue the school. Anyways, yeah, he was a good-ass dude, man. He was just robbing a lot of people. I never was worried about him robbing me or trying to do anything like that because, A, I didn't front people, and I knew he was not going to strong-arm me, and B, because nothing ever went missing when he was around. Like, I noticed that. There were certain people I noticed shit would just not go missing, almost like as if there was other people. There's even times I knew other people tried taking shit. People was like, don't do that. Like, he done told me about it. He was one of them type of people who would be like, don't do that. And then if they still did it, he'd come talk to me on the side about it. Yeah, he, because of that, like, I always had a lot of love and respect for the kid. You know, like I said, he was like my brother because he looked like me and because I fucked with him. And I knew him enough. I knew him enough to say he was like a good friend of mine. But he was really only my brother because we looked so similar. You know what I'm saying? That's not saying like we wasn't cool, we didn't chill all the time. No, we did, but it wasn't enough. Like, he never lived with me, no shit like that. But I knew enough, like, he trusted me enough to tell me, like, shit he was into and whatnot. So that's how, like one day we had a conversation. I was like, I was born that night. I wasn't born last night, though. You know, and, you know, shortly after that, we kept having these conversations. And that's why one of the last conversations I ever had with him was like, bro, come on, just like, there's some people you have to be up and up with. You cannot do that to them. They're not going to play that shit. And from what it sounds like, the way he went out was that, because I've heard people on his side say, oh, they tried to rob him. And the people who know the people sitting for it right now said, no, he tried to rob them. So what I've come to, like, understand is almost definitely what happened without the law saying it is he was trying to rob somebody, or not trying to rob somebody, excuse me, because he wasn't strong-arming none. He probably owed them a tab, wasn't paying it, came back to get more, still wasn't trying to pay it. It sounds like he had to work in his hand, tried getting out the car, and they blasted him right there and left him dead on the one-way street. So I used to have a lot of anger and resentment. Like, I remember going into prison asking everyone from Bridgeport where he was killed at, like, who did this shit? Like, why they do this shit? And this before there was even, like, you know what I'm saying, news about it yet. You know what I'm saying? And everyone telling me, bro, he was trying to rob the people. And everyone back in the sticks saying who knew this kid, no, they was trying to rob him. And I know what it was. And on top of that, knowing the way he was moving, the fact that the last conversation I had with him was to not move like that, like, that's probably what happened. He probably thought he was just going to okey-doke him, get some more work, and then never see him again. And they probably knew he was trying to do that. And I warned him, bro. It was almost like God was telling me, bro, just try to have that conversation. Because he would listen to the conversation, but he would then want to quickly be like, oh, let's talk about something else. Like, you want to play some video games? Like, what? He wasn't trying to hear the whole conversation. He was never trying to have to take that look at himself like, I can't keep, you know what I'm saying? And I think he respected the fact I wouldn't front him. I think he knew I knew where he was at with shit. He obviously did. And, but I still let him come around. I always knew I could trust him in terms of, like, if anyone else tried taking shit, I had him personally come to me once, be like, oh, I seen so-and-so try to take it. You know what I'm saying? And they was still in the crib. So I got the shit back because of him. So I always had a lot of love for Butta, man. I always had, me and his best friend, who I could say was like his brother, where I said R.I.P. B. B was this kid whose parents is trying to make a law regarding his opiate death, which is not going to happen because it would violate Fourth Amendment. And I think, you know what I'm saying, they need to stop because he wouldn't want that. That kid was a gang member. He would not want no laws put in his name. Either way, so yeah, I don't think Brian Kodiak is going to happen. But B, basically, and him was always chilling. I didn't like B at first because B he took some shit out my garage, bro, because I jumped some other people, and then to get me back, they knew he would crash dummy for it, so he went and he stole 2 of my longboards. Like, that was going to even do something. You feel what I'm saying? On top of that, like, but eventually me and B got square. Me and B got real square. He was actually a big help. It helped me get the funding to, you know, get into a hotel and out of a tent once I left my parents' crib where he stole the 2 longboards from. So it was a lot of shit, bro. But, like, even when I ain't fuck with B, I always fuck with Butta. You see what I'm saying? So R.I.P. to both of them. I just had to do this little, like, origin story type shit for the Snow White cosmic universe type thing. You know what I'm saying? The Snow White cinematic universes, man, type thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm out this bitch, man. I love y'all. Don't make the dumb decisions this motherfucker made, man. I miss you, but I wish you was still here, bro. I wish you was here to see this. Because if I could put me and you on a video with millions of streams, bro, that shit would be hilarious. But I'm out this bitch, man. You know, for the Mac Bundles Snow White cinematic universe. I'm out this bitch, man.